Jim Acosta is calling out NBC for a major shift in their coverage. And that's just scratching the surface of what's going on. People are buzzing because NBC has made a move that feels like a betrayal to longtime viewers. Jim Acosta, known for his unfiltered commentary, isn't holding back his criticism after Comcast, NBC's parent company, donated heavily to Trump's fundraising event at the Plaza Hotel. But this isn't just about politics, it's about the direction of one of America's biggest news networks. The real shocker here is how suddenly NBC seems to be aligning with certain political leanings, leaving some viewers questioning their trust in unbiased journalism. This shift has people wondering who else might be impacted and what it means for the future of media neutrality. Jim Acosta recently called out NBC for their ties to big donors, suggesting a shift in how they cover news. This isn't just any network, it's one of the biggest voices in American media. The backstory here is that Comcast, which owns NBC Universal, donated heavily to Trump's re-election efforts back in 2024. That connection didn't go unnoticed by journalists and critics like Acosta. So when you see Jim speaking out now, think about what he saw coming from those ties years ago. The real twist. This isn't the first time NBC's been accused of leaning politically. In fact, the company has a history of being seen as more favorable to conservative viewpoints, especially under current leadership. But this latest move feels different. It's like they're fully embracing one side now rather than just playing it safe. And that's where it gets messy. Who stands to lose if NBC becomes known for partisan coverage? Viewers who want unbiased reporting, obviously, but also advertisers and sponsors might rethink their partnerships with a network perceived as biased. This isn't just about one donation, it's about how it fits into the bigger picture of media influence in politics. So as you watch Jim Acosta speak out, ask yourself, is this the start of something bigger for NBC? Jim Acosta's criticism of NBC hits a nerve because it's not just about Comcast donating to Trump's inaugural ballroom. It's about the perception that major networks like NBC are increasingly aligning with political agendas, especially when it comes to covering events and figures close to the Republican Party. And let's be clear, Jim Acosta has been at the forefront of this debate since his contentious feud with then-President Donald Trump back in 2018. That confrontation wasn't just about access, it was a clash over journalistic integrity and freedom of speech. Fast forward to today, and Acosta is calling out NBC for what he sees as a compromise on these principles. He's not alone, journalists and media critics are echoing his concerns. They're pointing fingers at how Comcast, the parent company of NBC Universal, has been making significant political donations over the years. But here's where it gets tricky, NBC isn't just a news network, it's part of a larger corporate ecosystem that includes film studios, theme parks, and cable networks. So when Jim Acosta raises his voice about bias in media coverage, he's touching on an issue that goes beyond one single event or donation. He's highlighting the broader concern about how big corporations can influence the narratives we see every day. And he's highlighting the broader concern about how big corporations can influence the narratives we see every day. And when Comcast donated $50 million to Trump's ballroom renovation at Mar-a-Lago, it sent shockwaves through the media landscape. The donation itself is one thing, but the timing and the donor make it explosive. Acosta isn't just any journalist, he's a veteran reporter known for his unapologetic style and sharp criticism of political figures. His comments hit home because they're coming from someone who's been in the trenches, covering some of the biggest stories over the last decade. So when he calls out NBC for compromising itself, it's not just an opinion, it's a call to action. It resonates with viewers because it feels like there's a deeper story behind this donation. People are looking at Comcast's ownership of NBC and wondering if there's more going on than meets the eye. The public response has been divided, but passionate. On social media, fans of Acosta rallied around him, praising his courage and integrity. But critics countered that he was overreacting, pointing out that many companies support political causes without it affecting their news coverage. The back and forth highlights how polarized the issue is. The real tension here isn't just about the boundaries between corporate funding and journalistic integrity in today's media landscape. As NBC navigates this tricky terrain, it raises a larger question: can any major news network truly remain impartial when their parent company has such deep political ties? It's a dilemma that goes beyond just NBC, it challenges the core principles of unbiased journalism in an era where big tech and politics are intertwined more than ever before. So here's the million-dollar question. How do we trust our media sources in an age where every dollar spent seems to come with strings attached? If you enjoyed diving into this complex issue, subscribe. New stories every week.